The GMODIST, more GMODIST.
Do you recognize this? Maybe you're completely unaware of this, but right now in Europe a Eurovision Song Contest is in full swing. And it's a big deal in Sweden, probably because we always win. Or maybe not this time. This time we're participating with a literal song about the sauna with a couple of Finn Swedes. I can translate the lyrics for you as we go if you want to, but in any case, we're going to build a literal sauna. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do because I want it as a prefab so we can have it on ships. And this is a great opportunity. Unfortunately, I can't really play the entire song for you, but if you heard it, it goes something like this. I think that's enough seconds. Well, that's probably few enough seconds to not get us demonetized or, I don't know, ad claimed or whatever. But look up the song if you don't know about it, it's weird. And the thing that's interesting with it is like the first year that Sweden sends something that's actually funny. Sweden is usually so darn try-hard, you get so tired. But finally, something that's a little bit fun, which I think personally the contest should be all about, in my opinion. As you can see, it's a pretty simple design, so like the main construction of it. So we're gonna have a pretty small one, right? Naturally, it's a stage performance, but we're going to use the main construction as the basis since it happens to be the most common way to build them as well. So we're just gonna make a very simple type of sauna, right? All of this will basically be a great exercise in mimics. The normal wooden texture is a little bit boring. So we're most likely going to use this color, which I didn't make it for this, but I made it for the AOG palette, but it kind of looks like birchwood, which is what is usually and should be used as well, so that's completely correct. In any case, what we are also going to look at, now this is too light, we might do some custom ones as well, but there are an interesting option here. If we do this one, perhaps we can even check out this one, and that's too yellow. But if we go inside of here and just place this as a mimic instead, then we can switch the material to cedar, and you can see that that's kind of off. If we take normal piece of wood, texture it with cedar material, we get a pretty dark type, right? So that won't really do it. It could potentially look like some kind of used sauna somehow, but I'm thinking we should try and texture this one with a birchwood color. And it might be a little bit, yeah, we'll see here. We might need to set up a completely custom color. On closer inspection, if I compare it to the screen, this thing, this color on cedar is basically exactly the same shade as on the performance. So that is what we're going to use. We're going to retexture it with cedar wood later on then. Right, so we are going to set up, we're just going to set up some like fake walls and stuff like that. So we can kind of make the sauna compartment, because naturally it's not going to be its own house. It's going to be an interior like part, so this can be placed inside of an existing ship or whatever we want to have it on, I'm thinking. I'm just setting up a temporary little build light here so we know what we're doing, since we need to add like some lights later to make it look neat. I do think that I changed the floor to a gray type of stone, and I wonder if we can simulate like tiles, you know, bathroom tiles with some block. I think it would be Era actually. Yeah, it's gonna be Era. So we're gonna set up some white era as like bathroom tiles. But I think, let's see here if I spawn it as a mimic, will they like, oh yeah, they're gonna okay, that's good, that's perfect. So we're going to add them later actually. So we can have stone under it. And just for simplicity, we're just adding them here. Like this. Add a round of stone around that so we can add the era tiles on top of this later. Okay. As for the entrance, it's going to be to one side. It's gonna be a small door, of course. Now, the seats are gonna be a little bit higher than they would be IRL. Yeah, they definitely are going to be that, because from our like inspiration, we should have 3 seats, and each of them will be 1 meter exactly. So it's gonna be this, okay, like this, and this, and then this would be the roof level then. Let's just spawn that as the roof level, so we know where it's at. It's just temporary blocks, just to get a understanding on how it will look like. I just love that I'm taking building a sauna seriously, but you know, in the Nordic countries, it's a serious matter, or people still do it. I guess it's a bit of a dying tradition, a little bit. Before, it was like the main way of washing yourself. It's funny, but not anymore. Anyways, something like this. That was a very long time ago, I should say also. Anyhow, yeah, this is a great exercise in mimicry. As we can see here, if this is the roof level, if we don't have, okay, so we want that top line, right? So we're gonna switch to 3 meter beams. As you can see here, this type of panel works perfectly because we don't want it to be perforated. We can add this, that, and this light shadows are set to off, so the light is getting through the blocks, which is really handy for this right now. We are going to set up glass kind of around it. You know these like heavy glass blocks they have in like bathhouse and stuff. That's what we're going to use. That type of vibe. So one side of the door will be like open-ish, and the others will be a real door. Not like open that it's like free space. I mean open that it's like you can see through a little bit. Alright then, so now we need to get the tile system going. We're gonna have white tiles. That's, I think, the most commonly used here. So we're going to resize this to 2x2, up, down, right, like this. Let's see here, 0.5 and 0.5 in this direction too. That should be exactly what we're going for. So if we copy all there, actually, is it like on this block? It is. Then we can do it really simple. This is not a tutorial, this is a let's build, but of course you can learn some stuff from this too. Look at this. I just made a little prefab, and now we can like paste it over like this. It's very handy. It's glitching through a little bit on the other side, but it's going to be in an interior environment, so it doesn't really matter at all. On a closer thought, I don't want them to be completely aligned here when we are having tiles. I'm actually wanting them to protrude a little, just a tiny little bit. Not much, but enough so that it's clear that it is a new texture, right? And to not collide there, we need to make them a little bit smaller side to side. Okay. also remove this. Ah, excellent. Isn't that nice? Oh no, oh no. All right, there we have it. So we're going to cover this surface. We're gonna do some pretty advanced stuff with the panels for the like seats in the sauna. Let's see, do we want the... No, we do not want them to protrude over there, so we're going to move this. Maybe we'll like match them up in some custom size like this. Yeah, I think this is good. This is good. A little bit higher up. Great. I think it's time to shift L to get the interior view very well. Obviously, a bonfire is not an option inside the sauna, and the benches are going to go straight to the other like side here. However, we want something to be the benches here. We're gonna take a long block. We're gonna hide this, but it's just to basically work as a collision point and hide stuff. Yeah, now let's just do 3 of them. We're gonna color them brightly so we can see them clearly. Then we're doing like this, and then we are going to the menu. Gonna select my pre-made hide any block prefab. So we have blocks here, but I now hidden them. Awesome. And before we cover this place up, I feel that this corner could be a good way to have a drainage. So we're gonna have a brass drainage to keep with the AOG theme a little bit there. I think we're gonna go with a steam. No, we're just gonna do a simple thing here. We're gonna have a steam like pipe just straight down like this. It's gonna be a nasty little drainage thing just in the background. Won't really be noticed. The benches will be in front of it. So right, so now we need to design the benches. They are going to go to like straight to the side here. And we are we're gonna need a good bit of mimics for this thing, I can tell you that. We're gonna have the birch color. It doesn't actually matter what type of block we choose as long as it is square. And this is it's at 7 meters wide, so we can just use a regular block. Actually, I think we should be taking... We're just gonna take a metal plate and retexture that. So this is kind of what I'm thinking. We're gonna spawn this metal plate here. So we're basically gonna do planks. So left and right, 7 right. And just to make it a little bit like we can see that we put some effort in it, we are going to not mess with that. We're gonna have them almost 7 meters, but we're gonna have a visible gap here. These are like the types of details that really matter. Right, so then we have a plank here. We should have, let's see here, if we're gonna be true to the video, I have it on the other screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5, right? I think it's 5. It's 5 or 6. We're gonna scale this here to fit, but we need to have cedar material, and I'm happy to see that the texture lines up in the right way. So you can turn off the lights so you can see it there. There we have the planks. I'm pretty sure you can imagine what I'm going to do. Yes, indeed. I also feel I should probably just place a truss block here for the time of being, so that I can see what I'm actually doing. Something like this. Oh, and we should probably hide some seats inside of here as well, so that a couple of people can sit here. We don't need seats on all the places, but some of the places, definitely. So, to make it a little bit lower like this, probably, 1 meter is a little bit tall, isn't it? If we can actually do like this. We can get a chair and like measure that with it. It can be a little bit hard in a chair, of course, but something like this should probably be quite reasonable. And the reason why we choose the 1 meter block is so that it scales the same amount in both ends. If you choose the longer blocks, that's not the case, which can be a little bit annoying. Well, we can remove these blocks here later, which we have hidden away if we want to. Or actually, maybe we're gonna do that straight away. Then we need to choose... You know, chairs are 5 materials. We're gonna do like this. We're gonna have... you can sit anywhere in the sauna. Okay. New rules. That means that we're gonna have some extra mimic blocks to hide them all, however. You can see that one is hidden, like that. Oops. That one is hidden. 2, 3. If you like go anywhere, you're so gonna spawn in a chair. Alright. I'll have to do like this. Right. So now we now we have chairs all over the place. This is glorious. Chair, excellent. That's amazing. Very nice. Right. So we're gonna spawn the avatar just to check out that it looks correctly. So oh, we're so low in, aren't we? I didn't remember the chairs were being this low. What about the elevated chair then? Alright, we're gonna have elevated chairs. We're going to replace them with elevated chairs. Chair. Ah, this is perfect though. With the elevated chairs. And we can have a... This is excellent. Should this level be nice too? Oh well. Back to the planks then. Let's kill off this avatar. It's a cruel game nowadays. You know, with the avatar being optional. If we check inside of there, whoops, Control X. This one is aligned to, that's the truss, right? And we can just, I think I want to move the truss like down so we don't, no, not all of this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna delete the truss. We can have another guide block. Since this middle block is like important, we can have the guide blocks just being in the corner here. Something like that. I had to put out the view to see where all the mimics are. I think I lost some. No? Actually, it can be a little bit interesting to see where the chairs are while constructing this, because we can just check hide original block when we're doing this. Well, in any case, we are going to get into this menu and we're gonna copy all and paste all. That's really simple. We can measure up the innermost block is gonna go over here, right? Look, 42, the answer to everything. Copy all, paste all. And this one that's 42, we can set that to positive 32. And this one in the middle, we can set this one to... Ooh, let's see here. We might need to... Oh, but some of the planks were a little bit wider, so we can do that. Here we have negative 16 here. We're gonna copy this. We are gonna add a new decoration. We're gonna paste that one. And I know there are some tools which you can like automate a lot of things with mimics, like mass placement and stuff like that. And I actually have tried them. But I kind of got some errors and stuff, and you know, I guess I'm not doing mimics that much, so that I'm like absolutely bored with it. I think it's a little bit meditative to do. Look at that. Isn't that quite nice? I think that's quite true to the video, actually. I think it is. Now we'll just need to do like this. Now we'll need to select copy all, and just for a backup we're gonna go here and paste all, so we have them over there. Because now I'm gonna take the mimics and I'm gonna do like this, copy and then paste. Yeah, and it seems to be working fine. So now we're gonna tweak a little bit here. Obviously this thing, all of them needs to be moved forward a tad bit, that's true. Right, so if we move this like that. So we want a pretty exact corner like this, good. Now usually there is not a panel covering the underside like this, but for this sauna we're building, apparently this is the case. I think we can delete the downmost decoration, otherwise it will look a little bit too cramped. Like, one should be able to get into there, right? To be able to do some cleaning and stuff, so it shouldn't be like completely covered. Something like this, and the topmost panels covering each other like this looks really reasonable. Now we should be going over, and we're gonna take a glass block. Actually, we're gonna take a glass window block, and we're going to use this for the construction. So if we have set our material override, we got the right color. We need to enable our light. So this is just to save some blocks where we don't have to have actual blocks. We can just use this one, so we get a little bit less mimics. There is a max mimics of like 5,000, and you'd be surprised how the really skilled builders, not me, get up to that level real fast. So I thought it would be nice if anyone wants to use the asset to not hog up too many decos. Which I'm probably already doing, but whatever. Great then. I think the most simple way is to just copy this, but then we're gonna have double with mimic empty, right? Yeah, we are. Lead deco. Enough, one is enough. Yeah, we're just pasting some here. Now, I'm not entirely sure this is a reasonable place to have them, because we do need... Yeah, that's probably only for the downmost one. Never mind, actually. Never mind, we can do that later. But as for this thing, we need to continue doing this, so we are going to delete the mimic empty, right? We don't need a mimic empty actually for the areas where we do have this little window block. So if we're just gonna, we probably can just do like this, like copy all for this. And since we want it at some other places, so every other, I think, we can just do like this, delete all, paste all. And we should have it down there, and the next one is here. So delete all, paste all. And the weird thing is that the thing you copied from like inside the menu. So if you go here and copy it, that's not the same thing you paste here. There are like different pasting things. So the first pasting menu is for pasting everything. Well, this one looks pretty neat. I think we can check the hide original mesh and just do a copy all. So we can paste all. Paste all. Isn't that quite nice indeed? It very much is. And we're totally just going to remove the stones now. I think they have served their purpose. Excellent. I will need to hide these as well. Not too difficult. Very nice. I think it looks pretty great so far. I'm happy with it so far. Well, we're not done, of course. We're going to continue with the framework, like holding this thing together. So we're going to think about how the construction would look like. If we add one here, can we do something with this? For example, if we go in here and just take this one. Oh, that's the empty one, isn't it? Yep. This can be deleted. And this we can probably just make taller. It's not such a far stretch, it becomes weird. This works. Definitely. Well then, we do the same thing here. Copy all, go here, delete all, paste all, and we have something like that. Getting some nice symmetry. This is so much detail. I never made such a detailed sauna in my life, that I can tell you. Maybe it's the first from the Depths Sauna, I don't know. We can actually do the same thing for the last one here. It's as said, we're working with pretty small distances, so we can just scale this thing again to be utilized here as well. Looks like they're a little bit thin-legged, possibly. Well, that works absolutely fine. So, no, I accidentally deleted it. Embarrassing. Well, as you can imagine, we did the same with this, so now all of them have a supporting structure. Quite amazing. Now we can delete this little template thing here. Amazing. We have a sauna framework. Right, so we need some important things, like obviously we need the heater. We need a bucket of water, we need a thermometer, we need some cozy lights that can be turned on and off because of course lights cause a little bit of lag in this game. Now, to begin with, we are going to make the model of the, the bathroom glass block, as I talked about before. Also, in case the sound lines up with something, perhaps we should just make sure that the blocks aren't glitching through on a closer afterthought. Just a tiny little bit. Should not be visible from the inside that we even messed with its exact location. Alright then. So this is where we're having it. Here you can see glass block, but we need to provide some type of cover around it. So we're gonna add a new decoration, and now there is a block called Mimic Empty. Let's see here. No, Mimic Hollow, I mean. Which gives us this, and this is exactly what we're looking for. Now, we need a reasonable mesh for this. I'm thinking most likely we should have stone, possibly, and color the stone white. I'm gonna have stone matte. I'm gonna select the white color. Yeah, this is like very specific. You probably know the glass block I'm talking about, right? Just like this. And the glass block in the middle here in question I think we need to hide this glass block in the middle, actually. Oh. Alright. I think we're gonna make them fake windows. So we're gonna have a wood block instead. And then we're gonna have the glass texture on top of it. I'm thinking like this, right? It's important that it sits snugly like that. Let's see what color we should cover this with. I think this color probably works reasonably well. And why we're wondering why I'm not setting up like custom colors for everything, it's because the colors are not saved over prefabs, so I set up a unified coloring selection palette basically for my builds. So I want, if I use the sauna, I want to know how it's gonna look like. Actually, I'm wondering really, there is this block over here. Perhaps this surface, oh, but it has a backside, the console screen, because that gives us a nice like round shape. But again, they have a backside, it will not look right. So I'm looking for a texture that has a little bit of a like smooth corners, like a squircle type of look. And oh, this might be it. If we scale this down, this is so detailed, man, this is so detailed. Why am I even? Sometimes you just want to make something the best way you can, so that's how it is, I guess. This is gonna be glass. Right there, and if we selected the color so we can see it a little bit, up down scaling, so if we have half scale, set that one for this and this. Oh yeah, this definitely works as a better feeling. Okay, cool. Right, so we're gonna use that. We're gonna force glass materials on the glass block, and then we're gonna change the glass block to storage. Right, so changing this around a little bit. Both of these are gonna be half, so 0.5, 0.5. See how we can scale it. Now, if you were unsure what glass block I was talking about, I'm sure you see it now. The thick bathhouse glass, that's proper sauna use. Well, I'm gonna tweak it so it looks perfect. And there we have it, we got this convex surface. So there we have it. And this little white stone looks like the like mortar mass in between. So that's what we're having. We're having them like this exactly, looking absolutely splendid. I'm even thinking we're gonna have a tiny window in the side here. Some saunas do have that. I'm thinking we're gonna have the fireplace in this corner. So it makes sense that we replace some of the surface with wood, replace some of the stone with some of the wood with stone, so we can have the fire or chimney going up like this. On this surface, however, we will not have that, but we're going to use a like stainless steel plate, because sometimes if you have the chimney going up through wood, it can catch fire. So then you just have a piece of metal covering the surface where it's going to be the most hot, just like this. We're thinking about everything here. And as for the door, we don't have very many options since we do want to have a real door. But I think we're gonna go with, yeah, maybe just Now let's have a bronze door. It look real classy. Excellent. That's fantastic. Right then. We're getting something here. I just took up a little image here. I felt we needed a little bit of reference. So this is how it's gonna look like. But maybe that's an electric type though, but that's fine. That's fine. We're gonna have an electric sauna. That's how they usually operate now. But actually, they obviously use the wood type. They have a bonfire on stage, that's true, but it's like implicit that it's a old-fashioned fire operated sauna. So never mind, I'm gonna look at a new reference image. Alright, that's a little bit more like it. I felt like I almost forgot to add something from the Depthsy. So we're not gonna do that type of heater. We're gonna do a steam powered one. So I'm just doing some designing here, and I don't have a really good idea on how to make the fire, so I'll be back when I have that idea in my head. Right, so I completely had a little what to say? I had somewhat a building spree, which I kind of did not document. But here we are for the documentation part. So we are making the bucket with a little ladle, which of course is an important aspect to add. In any case, what we do want to take a little look at, we should do in a second. Actually, it looks completely messed up that this thing is in wood while it's also being... Yeah, that doesn't work. We'll do it like this. We switch to alloy. We paint it a nice brass color. Yeah, that works better. And something like this. And something like this. Well, that looks perfect. Then we'll just need to add some water. Before we do that, check this out. This is the little steam heater. We can of course turn it off here. It does nothing basically, but it does generate some smoke without using a smoke block like that, so it's funny. And we have a little stone bed thing, which somehow is connected to the steam heater so we can pour water on it. Is the idea. Now we're going to use, for the first time ever, I'm going to use a very specific little mimic block. So we are going to add a new decoration, and then we're going to select circle. And there is something called mimic plane, circular, or circle plane. And it's pretty crazy because it actually doesn't have the texture from both sides. It's only from one side. And I'm thinking this will be perfect for making a water surface. I'll just need to flip this. Something like that. And just smaller like this. Make sure it is, oh no, it's not. Well, something like that. Now we need to select the right color and the right material. If we choose flat white, we have a really simple setup, but we might be more fun to choose something that is translucent in a... Yeah, this looks better, definitely. Yep. We are using just glass. Now, we are getting a complete sauna here in any moment. We obviously need to add some lights here. So I'm thinking like one mood light. It's usually to the side, isn't it? Perhaps, yeah, it should be to the side, otherwise it's blinding. Probably like this. I think we're gonna color it brass like this. And we're gonna do a little neat trick, which I learned from Rorsten, which we actually utilized here. This is, believe it or not, a cram block, a cram pellet block, and that kind of makes this embers-like look. And we're gonna utilize the same type of strategy here. So we're gonna have a little pole here. And we're gonna switch the material override to emissive only. And then we are basically creating a fake light. Now we have a light behind this, of course, that's a real light. But since lights can lag, even if we turn off all lights, we'll still get the effect of a light by it, you know, lighting up somehow a little bit the place. So it at least looks like it's ish a light. That's the plan. Like this, it has like full lightness level, even if it's off. So it kind of looks like it glows a little bit, right? Now we are setting it up, however, so it actually is on. And since we use a lot of red cozy type of lights for this type of thing, especially in the video as well, so we are trying to tune the light level to something that resembles that a little bit. Shadows should be off, because if shadows are on, it not only lags super much, but it looks weird for this light fitting. Right, we need some kind of dials to like measure things. You know, temperature dial. I'll see if I can find something in the mimic blocks, or if we need to make one. What the hell? We have one called display and another called my display name is different. Is this a joke or a bug from the code? Couldn't find that epic mesh I was looking for. The clock-like items seem to not be ported into as usable things. So what we're basically going to do is we're going to construct a watch type of thing using a munition warner and a little dial of some kind. Very simple. Get some red color on there, and then we can just drag it like this, drag it. Okay. Oh, now it's too narrow, great. Like this, make it a little bit shorter. Like that, basically. We need a proper angle for it before we place it where it's gonna be. This is our perpetual temperature now. Hope you'll enjoy it, otherwise you'll have a hard time. Maybe like this. Oh yeah, I think this is pretty decent. Yeah, that looks like a thermometer of some kind. I think so. The only thing that's missing now is a towel on the wall, I think. I don't know how I found this. I'm not even sure. Customizable explosion block? I don't even know what a boom block is, but it has a very fabric-like texture, which is great. So I just accidentally found that, but great, now we have that. This will look like a decent towel. Just need to hang it on something. There we have it. I think that looks pretty decent. You know what? I think we basically have a sauna here. There is one thing missing though. And that's of course a little commemorative picture. So we're gonna have a little hologram here. Right, that. Now let's see if it's still in the URL. Oh yes, I found it on Wikipedia. So we can undisplay the projector block. We are totally going to have them in here. As a little poster. I don't know. I guess it's laminated to be able to stay up there. But yeah. You know what? I think this looks pretty decent. We should strap on some type of roof to this place, however. But yeah. It looks nice. Unfortunately, from the depth video player still doesn't work. Otherwise, I would totally make a little TV with it inside of there. That would be absolutely fantastic. Yeah. It's you know, in saunas it's usually the same type of wood on the panels as in the roof. So it only makes sense we add the same type here. Then possibly we'll need to add some type of metal at this place, but we're gonna use the H-beam block to make a little interesting ridge into the design like this. Yeah, that adds some character. And I guess we should add some type of ventilation hole or something in here. Perhaps not the safest solution, but I think that works absolutely fine. I don't think Kai would mind. It looks very cozy, actually. It looks very cozy. Ooh, it seems to be working all fine with the avatar as well. Let's see here, if we walk around here. And we can sit anywhere in the sauna. That's fantastic. I don't know if that's weird, but I'm actually, I don't know, I may be most happy with my thick window blocks here. They look very much like the real thing. Well, in any case, do play the song and sit in the sauna. I'm gonna upload this to the workshop, the Steam workshop. If you want to have it as a vehicle, you can copy it and paste it in your designs. Saturday is the final, so do that before that. I don't know. And if you want to get it as a prefab, well, EU commissioned officers have access to that. That's fantastic. Big thanks, by the way, to the commissioned officers in the army of GMODISM, and thanks for watching. This has been GMODIST, your extra channel here on YouTube with the GMODISM content. I thought it was really fun to build a interior project like this. I never built such a detailed sauna ever in anything. I don't think I built such a detailed washroom in general in any game. Yeah. So in any case, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, do leave a like and remember to subscribe. If you do enjoy From the Depth, you definitely want to be part of the GMODIST channel as well, because you're already a GMODIST by being subscribed. Anyways, this is your host Eric of the GMODISM Empire. We're signing out from the GMODIST channel. See you in the next video.